Animal Farm 2, Part 27. One Final Resurrection. Ronald. Ronald was a young boy in Calgary, perhaps around the age of 7. He lived in a townhouse complex in the northeast. He was your typical fun-loving boy of the late 80s and early 90s that played outdoors in the neighborhood and built forts. One day, he and his friends discovered a space between a wooden retaining wall and the earth bank. It was the perfect area to hang out and build a fort. Children love building. They gathered supplies and created the ultimate hangout area for a kid their age. Crystal Dawn had a brother the same age as these boys. He wasn't allowed to play in the fort because those kids were not of the same faith. Crystal herself had already had her mouth washed out with soap for asking what fuck meant, and an ass whooping for inspiring all the neighborhood kids to slide down the windshield of her mom's new Forenza. They weren't allowed to play with those kids very often. The fort was amazing, though, for the kids that were allowed in. Crystal never got to see it for herself, but heard tales of blankets, crazy carpets, and candles. That's how the fire started. Started with candles, fueled by blankets and crazy carpets. The firemen couldn't remove the wooden boards of the retaining walls in time. A mother lost her son that day. It was possible more children perished, but it was Ronald that was burned into Crystal's memory. Her mother had offered Ronald's mother a tract as typical of a Jehovah's Witness to aid a grieving one with their loss, with hope of a new world, a resurrection. The lesson we can learn and remember is this. Ronald spent a lot of his time and energy and resources making a nice place for himself and his friends. It ended up being their death trap. Just because we have spent a lot of effort working on our current society, it does not mean it is good for us. In fact, it is a death trap, and there are a lot of innocent people depending on us to make the change needed. Follow the mosque far down to Gorky Park, listening to the wind of change. An August summer night, soldiers passing by, listening to the wind of change. The world is closing in, and did you ever think that we could be so close, like brothers? The future's in the air, can feel it everywhere, blowing with the wind of change. Take me to the magic of the moment on a glory night, where the children of tomorrow dream away in the wind of change. Walking down the street, distant memories are buried in the past forever. The wind of change blows straight into the face of time, like a storm wind that will ring the freedom bell for peace of mind. Scorpions, wind of change. It's coming to a community near you. It's contagious. Start the spread.